We are playing GRUUL Aggro today. We're on the draw, unfortunately, but we do have some action here to start things off. I have a Lovestruck Beast, Questing Beast, Primal Might, Crow and War, 3 lands to boot, so we'll be able to play all of our fun stuff. And this Crow and War is looking like it is going to be mighty useful in this matchup. Glad have it here. Pretty sure this is exactly the matchup it was put in for. The Mirror. GRUUL Adventure Mirror. I'm assuming it's GRUUL Adventures. It could be the team or ramp deck, but usually they have what, you know, Obosh as a companion. Taking the trade here. I mean, we are on the draw, so I'm trying to preserve my life total. Maybe it's a bad move, especially in light of what they just did there. Getting their Innkeeper out. Don't really have any way to deal with it. So, bit of a blunder, but that's okay. Guess we'll just delay on playing the pathway out. Play as long as possible. Only gonna get to the card advantage from their Innkeeper though. So we could Shatter Skull Smashing for 1, or we can play our own Lovestruck Beast. I think we'll Shatter Skull Smashing for 1. Unless my opponent plays a 1-drop, don't do the tap with the Beast, we'll be primed to take it with your Crone War. Assuming we draw another land, I guess, which, because we played up this Shatter Skull Smashing, is not a guarantee anymore. So I could just be making all sorts of blunders here, we'll see. Opponent plays Scoos. Start exiling some cards in the graveyard. Okay. I guess in the hopes of getting out a Great Henge, we will just play out Lovestruck Beast past the turn. All because I blocked with my 1/1. Couldn't use Primal Might to fight my opponent's Innkeeper. Sad. Opponent not missing any land drops. Evidently no Embercleave in hand. But we are able to cast the Great Henge here, which I think will be huge. We can Primal Might for +1 fight the Scoos. The alternative is fighting the Lovestruck Beast. I don't think they have any ways to instant speed pump, especially now that they only have 5 mana. Otherwise they could Embercleave. They could stomp my Beast in response though, so the trade... I guess let's go with the Scoos. It's a bit of a safer option. We still have the Crow and War, we have Questing Beast we can play next turn. We'll Brushfire into something else. Brushfire into Questing Beast because we're going to have the 2 extra green. Opponent now on 6 lands. Play a Rimrock Knight. Okay. Well, I guess we'll start things off, like I said, with the Brushfire. It's a counter. Shatter Skull Smash in. Could be potent in a future turn. Getting up there. We have 7 mana right now, so if we have 1 more, we can kill both of their creatures. But we'll go with the, I think, Questing Beast play. I'm fighting Embercleave. It's tough. I don't think I want to try my Questing Beast for their Lovestruck, but on the other hand, it is one of the ways they're going to be able to come back by having Lovestruck on and getting it Embercleaved or something. So we'll take that trade, I guess. Even though I'm not super happy about it. But we have a pretty good hand still, nonetheless. We have Embercleave, Crow and War. I think you could definitely make the argument that I should have waited there. do Ember Cleave onto the Lovestruck, or onto the Questing Beast. The thing I just traded away, but still learning the matchup. It's been a while since I've played any GRUUL aggro, but definitely been hankering for something more aggressive, something faster pace, do more blowouts. Hopefully, you know, by me, not against me. But okay, my opponent concedes here. Sounds good to me. So this matchup, I think I'm going to be wanting to bring in probably some more Crowan Wars. On the draw, I might want to take out some Ember Cleaves. Probably not going to be super effective there. Take out maybe a couple of Scoozes as well. Put in a bit of removal, some Fire Prophecies. Maybe bring in an Ox or a Vivian. Putting out just a Primal Might for a Vivian on the draw. Okay, opponent goes first this time, but we still have a nice 1, 2, 3. And we have Vivian now as well, so some more late game options there. Vivian starts with Heart Desire. Oh god. Got that little backwards, huh? We will start with Heart's Desire. Okay, opponent kept mana up. Don't think I want to run out Brushfire here. We'll just pass. Now they didn't have any stops too, so I'm not sure after if they actually did have Stomp, but in the moment it seemed like they might have. And you know, it's a very conspicuous amount of mana to be holding up. Here what we could do is either run out the Mammoth or Brushfire, play a land. One has 3 mana up. Brushfire, play a land seems good. Just because we get 3 damage in, 3 hasty damage. My opponent doesn't really seem to be doing much of anything. And I think we'll hold on to the Innkeeper again. Just trying to be more mindful of it, trying not to throw it away recklessly. So probably Innkeeper into Lovestruck Beast next turn. And hope we get an untapped land so we can follow up with a Vivian. Is on 4 lands to play a Questing Beast. So like I said, we'll Innkeeper. Play Crag Crown as a red source, so we have Embercleave mana. Should be fine with. And a Fire Prophecy. Not going to attack with my Elemental, don't want to throw it away. And like I said, here would really love to find that untapped 5th land, so we can run out Vivian. But if not, probably just play the Mammoth tapped as a land, get the 5th land. And maybe Heart's Desire, Lovestruck, if they don't play any threats. Opponent is a Crowan War. Okay, let's see what they take. Take the Lovestruck Beast. Blocks there. We do have our next land drop though. So when this next ticks up on their turn, my creatures are going to have to attack. So that's something to keep in mind. It's also something to keep in mind that my opponent has a Questing Beast up. So maybe I should just play my Lovestruck. Thing is though, Vivian's counters can block the Questing Beast. They'll just die to it. But they can block. I think we'll play it safe and just play the Lovestruck Beast. Keeping up Fire Prophecy. I don't know for what eventuality, but keeping it up. Always feels good to have a, spell up if you can. Even if you may not use it. Feels good to be having options, if nothing else. Opponents start to the Fatal Passage, they crack it. So I could also Fire Prophecy my own creature if they stomp something. Oh no, Shatter Skull smashes. Okay. And the other thing to keep in mind too, right, is I'm gonna get my Love Strike back. Not this turn, but next turn. I guess they could try to... Oh, alright. We can Fire Prophecy my 1/1 so I get to keep my Love Struck. Right, because my Love Struck wouldn't be able to attack. I'd get my other one back. I think that's the play. Assuming they don't attack with Questing Beast, which I don't think they will. So we're gonna Fire Prophecy my 1/1 in a a bold move. Get rid of the Mammoth. Okay, we're not gonna play the Elemental first. That is not gonna be what we do. We're gonna play Vivian. We're going to plus Vivian. I guess we'll give it Vigilance, and we can play a Mammoth. Okay, no tap creatures, we get both of the 5/5s back, and we have a Vivian. So this is looking good. This is looking good. They also are out of double Shatter Skull range right now. Right, my opponent has 6 mana, they need 2 more to be able to kill both Love Struck Beasts with that one spell. And on the other hand, we can snipe off their Questing Beast with our Shatter Skull smashing. And we even have a Fire Prophecy as well to follow up. They attack with both, so then I'll be going for an Embercleave play. Okay, let's think of what might happen here. If we get Embercleaved. Excuse me, my opponent is going to, if we don't block, have me at 2. If we do block, they're going to have me at 3, right? Because Questing Beast has Death Touch, so it only has to deal 1 damage. But since I might have a Stomp up, we are going to block like this, just to be more careful, more safe. Not die to Stomp. Yeah, now with that actually we don't have enough damage to kill their Questing Beast. Oh, and they kill Vivian as well, right, because of the trample. We know we have the Fire Prophecy. Well, that's something they could do, so maybe they did have a Stomp. And if we play the Brushfire, then we can swing in. I guess we can't really, because that is first strike, so it's wouldn't even matter. Wouldn't be able to try to trick them into getting a Fire Prophecy off. And yeah, we still only have 4 damage. Well, I guess we have to Fire Prophecy. And hope we either find a mountain, so we can play Shatter Skull for less, or find another Stomp or something. Oh, wait a minute, I'm really dumb. Emberous Shieldbreaker. I guess we'll get rid of the... Totally missed it, that as the second half. Okay. Okay. I guess we'll go to combat. Swing 3. Run out some more damage, I guess. Was too focused on I'm using this for a Great Henge or something that I totally forgot the other reason this is in the deck, right? Getting rid of Embercleave. Sheesh. Opponent must be thinking about stomping me, but they don't, seemingly. They decide against it. Now if my opponent has another Embercleave, it's just over. Okay, well there we go. Nothing I could have done there. Okay, well we're gonna go to game 3 at least. And now this time being on the play, I might bring in maybe another Embercleave. You take out Necrone War. Take out a Fire Prophecy. Could also bring in some Wilts here. That might be better than Fire Prophecy. And bringing the Primal Might back on the play was okay. And again, probably not sideboarding aggressively enough. The Autumn would have, but what can you do? Yeah, this looks like a pretty nice hand. So we can either start with a Mammoth or start with a Pathway and an Innkeeper. Starting with a Mammoth seems like a smarter play. And I'm just worried being stomped or something. Losing out on avenues of card advantage. Though, we could definitely make the argument that my role here is just to try to be as aggressive as possible so I don't get delayed by their extra card that they draw in the beginning. Okay, opponent cracks the Fable Passage. We'll see if they stomp me, or I guess stomp my Elemental to be more precise, or if they play something out. Because we could have a nice turn next turn of Innkeeper and then stomping something of theirs to set up for a subsequent Bone Crusher. Okay, so they don't actually, and they might be thinking of Primal Mighting, but they don't get a red source. No, they play a second Innkeeper. Okay. So we'll play a Forest. Primal Might. For 1. So we can still stomp. Oh no. I'm gonna Primal Might for 0 actually, because it's gonna X is 1 of the 2 total. Okay, Primal Might for 0. Fight 1 Innkeeper. Stomp the other. And then next turn we can Innkeeper and Bone Crush. So my opponent kind of got punished hard there for running out 2 Innkeepers without getting any value out of them. Although I did have to expend some spells. Right, but I'm going to get card advantage in turn, and I still have a board, because they have nothing. They're bolting in, Shatterskull smashing. They need that red source, apparently. Maybe they're thinking of stomping, or maybe they just want to run out a Lovestruck Beast, right? I mean, you have to think if they ran out 2 of these, that they'd be having some adventure creatures in hand, and maybe they're debating on which one to play. Maybe trying to think defensively and go for... Okay, yeah, there's just the Lovestruck Beast, just running it out. So we could have Crone War. That seems pretty good, actually. Since we have a Brushfire that will enable their beast to attack. We still getting some more damage here. My opponent's only at 10 life, right? So they are struggling right now. And like we could even play the Innkeeper, play Bone Crusher, play Mammoth, so we'd still have a 1/1. Lovestruck would attack. And I think my opponent's trying to be tricky here. They seem to have a stop, but we could confirm it with the Innkeeper. for the Bone Crusher. And here I think I don't want to play an extra land immediately, because I think they have a stomp or something that they're waiting on. Yeah, this almost confirms it, right? Because if I played the Mammoth, their Beast wouldn't attack, I wouldn't get any attacks in here this turn. So I'm gonna play it like this, just continue to be aggressive. When it's Soul Seers, their own creature, sure. Next turn we can Heart's Desire and play Love Shark Beast. So we'll be attacking for, what, 9? Oh, there's a Questing Beast though. Okay, so we'll start by playing a land. I think we'll want to play green. So Brushfire is pumped. Heart's Desire. Love Struck. So if we tag with everything and they block the Brushfire, then they're only taking 5, but we lose the Brushfire. We still have some pretty good attacks next turn though, I think. I think we just go all out here. My opponent's low on cards. A bunch of 1/1s. By bunch I mean 2, but still. We have 2 things they're going to have to block next turn if they want to live. They attack. Say no blocks. Play Mammoth, okay. Okay, we get a Shatter Skull, so that should seal the deal, huh? We'll just snipe off their Questing Beast. Up 4 damage, looks good to me. And now they lose. Alright. Taking down a mirror match. GRUUL Aggro. Okay, now this hand looks nigh on unplayable. Only had 1 color of our mana. This looks better. Keep 6. I guess we'll send back a forest. Or do we want to send back a Shield Breaker? I think I don't know. I guess the Shield Breaker so we can play Mammoth as a creature and have it be a good Embercleave target. And it's also going to be a way to enable Great Henge on T4 if we find a 4th land. That's nice. Opponent on 2 islands, a little suspicious. Yeah, it's something they can do. Are they rogues? But they don't have black, so what can they flash in here? Not sure. Not sure what they're going for. Maybe it's a Shark Typhoon? Oh, Gadwick. Mono blue, perhaps. But here we guess we can just play a Mammoth as a land. Next turn we can crack Fable and Embercleave if we want to. I guess we'll go to combat, see if we want to trade. Defense, good to know. Let's run out our Shield Breaker. I don't think they're going to have any scary artifacts, and like I said, we just want to get bored. So we can Ember Cleave. And I mean, I think if I can just resolve Great Henge, I think I'll be fine. You could also make the argument I should just Ember Cleave here. Getting rid of my opponent's board and making Nyx Lotus not do anything could be good. I guess we'll not be greedy, we'll play the Great Henge. I mean, how is a blue deck gonna deal with this? Apart from like a pure Best the Sea God or something. Okay. They have their 7 mana. Corridor Monitor. Okay, so they untap. This is a combo deck? Spicy. And yeah, I mean, just as I say there's no artifacts I'm scared of, my opponent starts playing some Nyx Lotus jank. Okay, they Seagate Restoration. Drawing, what, 4 cards? Sure. They land. And Mountain. Go to combat. See if they're gonna cast a spell or something, tap my stuff down. Okay, so they tap my Embereth. They bounce Brushfire. We attack. We... I don't know, I don't think we have good attacks. We could kill a Monitor, but that's not really worth it. But they're just got a crazy board going. Get ready for future turns. Because again, this is mono blue, I'm not really fearing board wipes. We're on to plan, overwhelm them. Make it so they can't possibly tap all my creatures. Okay, so they get 2 more mana. I guess it's really 3 because the Monitor now counts. Okay. Hard casting into the story. Sure. Definitely a spicy deck. We'll see how many blue spells they have though. They bolt in a Seagate Reborn. That is a bold move. Okay. Start with the Brushfire Elemental. Resting Beast, that's encouraging. Play the Pathway as a green source. Buff on my landfall creatures. Okay, they Brazen Borrower the Brushfire. Tapping the Mammoth. That Omen of the Sea. Tapping a little early, I think. 2 on top. Okay, another Omen. Okay, so they're gonna be completely tapped out here. So we might actually be able to win. No. Okay, Ember Cleave. Ember Cleave is still going to cost a significant amount. So we can run out Questing Beast. running up Brushfire would be useless, it would just die to Gadwick. So we'll just swing 5 at them and they'll be able to block. But with Gadwick, they'll lose 3 devotion that way. Okay, they go to 3. And I mean, I guess we'll just play a Brushfire again. Run the card. They have no limit on their hand size as well. Okay, so they're going for the mill as well, it seems. Okay, so that's what they really were, a mill deck. This whole time. They have 8 devotion to blue. Okay, so they get another Seagate Restoration going. They're gonna draw a ton of cards, so that's a ton of mill. Well, they're dead next turn. They can't mill us out, we have 30 cards left. There are 2 monitors down, but they have just drawn a ton of cards. There are also 3 Seagate Restos down. Okay, they'll play another Teferi's Tutelage. Six cards in the library, 26 cards. Okay, my opponent seems like they're passing. Only have 2 mana. You just swing out here. Okay, another Petty Theft on the Questing Beast. Or on a Brushfire. No, okay, on the Questing Beast I tap a Brushfire. But still this should be lethal. Especially since we have 2 Embercleaves. Okay, so opponent did a good job, but seems like their efforts are in vain. Play the Embercleave. Okay. So how do we sideboard against this monstrosity here? Might want to bring in the escape cards. Seems like a decent idea. Or we take out the Acrone War. Take out the Scavenging Ooze, I guess. They're just going to be bounced. Take out the Phoenixes. We could take out the Ox. Take out the Primal Might, I suppose, as well. Put in another Ox. Fire Prophecy I'm split on. I mean, it can help stop their Gadwick and slow them down, but going to be bricking against Cabal, or the Corridor Monitor. So I don't know how good that's going to be. Wilt could be good, though. Maybe take out an Embercleave, putting a Wilt. And I mean, the reason I'm okay taking out an Embercleave is just seems like it's really bad against all their Brazen Borrowers, right? We attack with this whole bunch of stuff, pay a bunch of mana to get Embercleave, and they just bounce Embercleave or bounce the creature. We're just going to be, you know, so far behind. We have so much more time for us to have to, you know, either replay the creature and re-equip, or just replay Embercleave again. Excuse me, so we'll just do that. This hand looks okay. Start with the Heart's Desire, play Brushfire, hope to get more lands to keep the party going, but I'm down. Like I said, we'll start with Heart's Desire. Opponent started with an island, so not off to the fastest of mill starts. No T1 Ruin Crabs or anything like that. Okay, we find a Wilt. We'll run out Brushfire Elemental if they want to Petty Theft something. Counter it, I guess. Mystical Subdual, interesting. It can still attack, though, for the purposes of Embercleave, so worth noting. We'll go to combat. If my opponent wants to bounce the token. If so, we can just stomp our 1/1, I guess. It is a shame we didn't hit a 3rd land drop. Would have loved to have played out Love Strike Beast. Get in for 1. Seemingly. Opponent thinking though. Thinking hard. Thinking long. I guess we'll just run out the Shield Breaker. Trying to get some kind of board presence. At the very least, if we draw a mountain next turn, we can Embercleave. But whatever my opponent was thinking about doing, they didn't do. Maybe they had another Subdual. There's the Nyx Lotus. I guess we'll just wilt it. I don't know what they're doing, but maybe they would play like something with a bunch of Devotion, like a Gadwick, and then they'd get, you know, a non-mana. So just keeping them off of that, I think for now is okay. The alternative would be like Arch Desire, which is pretty low impact. Find an Arcanist Owl. Okay. What can we find? Yet another Stomp. Now, I imagine my opponent doesn't have much life gain in their deck, so Stomping Face might be effective if I can get my opponent, you know, to 4. Or if we can ever find that third land. Yeah, like I said, if we could find a mountain, that would just be unreal right now. But no, we cannot. Let's keep sending in 2. My opponent. And yeah, like, the Arcanist Owl would have been pretty nice for them if they had a Nyx Lotus in the field, right? Effectively would have been free. So I think it was the right call, sniping this off. We saw how potent it was game 1. Getting them like, you know, so much mana a turn. It's a little Bone Crush, I guess. Open up the attacks. The Shield Breaker. And do something that's more impactful than just making another 1/1 token. Oh, there's a Gadwick, okay. 3. Just need to get that additional red source or third land. Oh god. Another Omen. I wonder if they're running Yorion. Seems like it might be ideal if they have all these omens lurking around, these owls to blink. Wants to keep at least some of what they're viewing. Start sacking though. Interesting. The bottom. Maybe they don't have Yorion? They're trying to just dig for another Nyx Lotus or something. Well, we got another land drop. Let's start going face here. When it's gonna take, what, 4 unless they have a bounce or something? Yeah, they're late into the story. Tap the brush fire, okay. Alternative would be to stomp Gadwick. I guess I'll just get them to 4 while we can. They're tapped down. You have haste creature as well, and we also have questing beast if we get another land. One has a lot of cards in their hand though. Undoubtedly scary. Okay, they get another Arcana Cell. Get a Nyx Bloom, okay. Nyx Lotus rather, not Nyx Bloom. They can tap, oh man, they can tap that for a bunch. 3, 4, 9, it's gonna be 9 mana. Guess they're gonna have 10 total with this extra island. They don't play it. Seems like a mistake, but I don't know what their hand's like. Yeah, we get our 4th land. Do they tap anything down? Yeah, they petty theft the token. Petty doesn't have a token. We'll run out a Bone Crusher. If they try to target it, they're gonna take damage at the very least. I forgot the Nyx Lotus enters tapped. That's an important thing there. They play it to Teferi's tutelage. I could do some milling. We do have some nice options in my hand though, if we can get them into the graveyard. With what to do with all those escaped cards. Okay, but they have a corridor monitor, so they get to untap the Nyx Lotus. Get nice fresh mana refill there. I guess they're gonna be milling a whole bunch. Rune Trap. Okay. Getting pretty low in cards, 27. Opponent has 3 cards left in hand, even after that, into the story. They have 4 mana up. Another quarter monitor, okay, so they have even more mana. Oh man. 1 sec is wild. You bottom. 14 mana in the mana pool. You get 10. Begin for something. By Omen. It's all their omens. Keep one on top this time. We're just digging for more drawing. Find another tutelage. Another corridor monitor. At the very least, though, they're out of things to do. They can flash in a couple of Brazen Borrowers, but which I guess is going to be just enough to tap down my board. Yeah, I mean, I guess we just use mana affectionately. I'm gonna tap down whenever I play though, so it doesn't really matter. Man. 4 life for my opponent. Still proving troublesome. I wouldn't be surprised if they just don't even play the Brazen Borrowers now. They just wait till their turn. But, okay, no. They play at least one of them. Let's see if they play multiples. They play both. We love them crack the Omen, try to find more action. But it's definitely a risky thing to do. And they know I have, you know, 4 cards left in hand, a whole bunch of creatures I can play. Keep one on top though, so that's bad news for us. found something that's useful to them, evidently. Curious as to what. Hopefully it's not another Into the Story, that'd be bad. But opponent, I think, has literally nothing else they can do with their mana. So I'm not sure, even though they have 7 of it, I'm not sure what the holdup is. They, yeah, no cards up there. I guess it was my turn. Yeah, before combat even. But okay, we do some more milling. No, that was a mountain on top. See what this card my opponent wanted was. So I guess on my turn we would send the Bone Crusher and the Questing Beast. Probably get a Monitor or a Ruined Crab. Block the Beast. Questing Beast they might block with Gadwick and Arcanists, which I'm okay with. Gadwick for 20? Are you kidding me? That is going to be lethal. Just put in a couple Fire Prophecies so that we are better suited to deal with a resolved... the 3/3 guy, god. Just talking about him. Play first. Kind of a stinker. Oh, from bad to worse, I guess. Can't keep a one-lander. Okay, we got something playable, it looks like. Guess we can send back a Shield Breaker. Embercleave? Oh, that's a tough one. Do a Phoenix of Ash here, but I think the better play is Bone Crusher. They'll have to take damage if they want to target it with a Petty Theft. Play a Tutelage, milling me for 3, or 2 I guess. We'll run out a Questing Beast and then Phoenix of Ash, which would be nice because we'll be able to recur it with all those cards they're going to be milling. We get rid of an Arcanist Salvo. We find actually another Phoenix in the graveyard, but we are going to bolt in the land, Shadow Skull, we're going to swing for 8, it's got my opponent for 10. And we have some more damage waiting. We can already escape the Phoenix, get in for 3 more in the air. So we already have basically lethal on board if they don't respond in some way. Okay, they played their 4th land. And this just shows, I think, the power of this deck, right? Like, I mult a 5. and my opponent's still going to be dead on turn 5. Like, playing Nixlot is tapped, and he's dead. Okay. That is it, my opponent. Good games, innovative deck, but it's not going to be fast enough. Sorry for the, I guess, top deck in the meta, tier 1.